Welcome. I had to put my crown. I think there's too much weave. It won't fit. It's totally not my hair.
Happy birthday.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I know, 44. Feels crazy. Getting older. You don't feel older, but you are.
Wait,
Yes.
remember
Yeah.
this conversation when you turn 80, dear.
I know. You know what, though? It's a blessing, I think, to age. Not everybody gets to. So I'm actually I'm not one of those people that worries about the number or anything. I think it sounds cheesy, but it's like not everybody gets to make it to these years. So it's a beautiful thing to be able to do that. So I love spending it with y'all. Actually, I hear you're in Montana a lot, right?
Well, whenever I can.
Yeah.
My wife Mary's from Montana, and we have a little cabin on a lake. So that's where we go to disappear.
That's where I go to disappear. I love it.
It's a beautiful
Isn't it just
state.
wonderful to check out there, like mentally, and actually just relax and do things that you never do anywhere else?
And never did until we got that. That's where I first rode a horse, water skied, sailed, and so forth. It's like a two-person summer camp.
I know, I love it. It's wonderful. I'm glad you have that. And you grew up in California, right? But you're here now, right?
Yes, I grew up in San Francisco.
Which do you like better? Ooh, I like San Francisco.
I do too.
Yeah, that's great food. Yeah.
Great food, great everything.
Yes. What do you like better?
New York.
I will say, I had the most magical night last night, too, because we had the longest winter, and we went out to dinner and just walked around the city and, like, the West Village area. It was like, oh, this is like a movie.
You earn your life in New York.
Yes.
You feel like you've accomplished something just by getting through your day, and when that sun comes out after the winter, you're like...
Everyone's out.
Freedom.
It's literally like a sea of people. You're like, where were all these people in wintertime? And like everybody comes out because the sun's out. The parks are completely full of half-naked people. It's amazing. I love it.
Incredible.
It's awesome. You got your acting start on the New York stage. Is this your first time on Broadway?
Yes, this is my first time on Broadway.
That's a huge deal. Yeah. Congrats.
No,
yeah.
that's okay.
That's awesome.
Stop.
That's awesome.
We'll edit that so it looks like they just
It's just, I guess, spontaneous. We're so excited. Yes.
Yeah, no, it's great. I started in New York theater off Broadway. I did regional theater for many years.
Yeah.
So to get to finally come to Broadway with this incredible creature.
Yeah. No one's heard of him. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, that's like an incredible person to be on stage with as well. How did the role in Giant come about to you? How did you were friends, right?
The script came to me directly from our director, Nick Heitner, who's an old friend of mine. I had done my first musical on Broadway with Nick back in 2002, Sweet Smell of Success.
Yeah.
And it was twice the length that it is now. It's Mark Rosenblatt's very first play. And he and Nick worked on it for about 3 years before I even saw it. It's a play about Roald Dahl, and I'm not proud of this nor pleased, but I look very much like him. He was very tall, very bald, and very old, so here I am.
This is like, you're playing such a pivotal guy in a lot of art. Like that's like Matilda changed my life when I was a kid. Like those books, there's certain Jameson and Peach, all these, he's such a just world-renowned author. Like I didn't know much about him though privately, which was kind of, did that ruin it for you? Were you a fan of Roald Dahl growing up? And then you were like, wait, what?
Oh, I didn't know anything about the controversy until I read this script. I feel like I just missed that whole thing. And so it was shocking to me, but you know, it doesn't ruin it for me. I still can hold both. I mean, I think what this play does so beautifully is allow you to hold paradox, which is something that is not typical in our culture these days.
Yeah.
That two truths can be
Existing.
true, they exist at the same time.
Yeah.
And so I can hold both who he was and his problematic views and the beautiful art he made.
Yeah. Oh, great storyteller. Let's take a quick commercial break. We have an audience member who can help us out.
Hi, Kelly. I'm Meg, and I'm a huge Broadway fan. Growing up, I'd put on living room productions of Jesus Christ Superstar for my family. I always cast myself as King Herod because he had the best dance numbers. John and Aya, I can't wait to see Giant. It looks spectacular. More with Kelly, John, and Aya after the break.
We are back with Aya Cash and John Lithgow. You can see them in Giant, playing now at the Music Box Theater in New York City. It's a magical theater, by the way, too, the Music Box. Yeah, what a cool place to do a show. And come see a show, by the way. But you both performed this in London as well. So which audience was, I'm gonna guess America is crazier, right? A little more loud?
They're more animated.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes,
That's
the
a
lights
very
go
nice
up
way.
and they applaud. And they applaud the set, you know.
That's kind of exciting, though, to play, because sometimes whenever I'm playing a show and in certain parts in the world, people are very respectful, but I'm always like, are they liking it? Like, I was like, you know, because I'm so American and I'm used to just people right off the gate just being excited and stoked to be there or whatever.
Yeah, people voice their opinions, sometimes during the show at me.
Oh my God, does that ever distract you?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of love, and I have love-hate with it, because it's jarring, because it feels scary, because you don't know you can't really understand what people are saying or their intent. But I also feel like if art moves you, what an amazing thing that people are so moved that they vocalize.
Yeah.
So I have both.
Yeah, it always distracts me. It's like if I'm on the road and people write signs or something, I'll start reading it and they'll be like, where was I? I'm like, I'll forget like where I was in the song or something like that.
It actually supercharges Aya. After it happens, she's like fire. She catches fire.
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, shut up and listen.
I command this. I love this. I heard that your wife never went to anything on like film sets or anything, but she's come to this show quite a bit, right?
Well, my wife is a professor. She's not in our show business, and she doesn't understand what I do.
That's pretty sexy. You got a professor as a wife?
She can't stand seeing me be somebody else.
Oh.
So she just doesn't like to come and watch the process.
Oh.
She's perfectly happy with coming and seeing me act.
Yeah.
And she's a very demanding critic. I rely on her.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. When I first met her, the first job, I simply had a false mustache, and that alarmed her. The next time, she came to visit the movie set of World According to Garp when I was playing a woman, and I was completely in drag, and she was completely floored. I was like, somehow we've survived for 45 years of marriage.
Because you're entertaining as hell. That's awesome. You show up and your husband, you're like, all right, this is new, but okay.
She just doesn't understand, and I don't understand a word she says either.
Yeah.
So works
I love
perfectly.
it. That's really cool, though, professor. All right. Is it true that I heard an old girlfriend came to the show, too, recently?
Yes.
Like years ago.
So word has gotten out.
Yes.
A girlfriend from my junior year of high school. It was absolutely the last time I saw her was graduation day in 1963.
That's cool.
And boy, there should be a play written about what happened in that dressing room.
I don't know if you want to share that on TV.
She brought an entire packet of my love letters to her from when I was in
How goofy but cute were they? Were they goofy?
I thought, who is this man? This young man. I mean, such an unbelievable romantic. Like,
That's cool.
I was mortified.
I'm like, oh no. That's like if you find something that you wrote when you were like younger and you're like, oh my God, things were so epic.
Yeah.
Like something that was not that big of a deal was so epic in this moment. It's ridiculous. Put it away. Things always go wrong in shows. That's my favorite thing with live theater. You know, we have a lot of actors on that do movies and TV, but at the same time, theater is so different because every night is very different and things can happen, mishaps happen. So has anything gone like horribly wrong or right and funny?
Well, we had something recently go wrong. I don't want to take John's story from him.
Just 2 nights ago, in the course of the play, I do this about 20 times. The spectacles are a big prop for me.
Yeah.
The first time I took them out, they broke into 2 pieces. And I immediately thought, what am I going to do? The whole performance is out the window. There's a spare pair on the prop table. So I just called over Stella Everett, who plays Hallie the cook, and I handed them to her. I said, take these off stage. And I just crashed, smashed the fourth wall, and the audience loved it. You know, from that moment on, it was our best performance. So.
I laughed on stage for the first time. He broke me for the first time since college. I have not giggled on stage, and we all had a moment. It's a very intense tone shift in the play that this happened.
Yes.
Oh, no.
So it goes from us all breaking the fourth wall to a very intense moment, and in some ways, it really highlighted that.
Yeah.
Because immediately I had to go.
And
I love it. The comedy and then that audience only got that. That's what I think is so special
Yeah.
about seeing live shows. There's always like moments things happen and it's like, oh, that only happened that night. That's
and then
fun.
Stella sneaked the glasses back on, and they noticed, and you heard the murmur. It was pure theater.
Yeah, it's like they're a part of it. Have you ever had one personally, like a mishap?
Yeah, the first play I did in New York, a play called Pain in the Itch at Playwrights Horizons, I was on stage saying some actually really vile, terrible things, and someone started screaming at me from the audience. Very small stage off Broadway, probably 200 seats, and she was screaming, and she was up in her seat. I could sort of see out of the corner of my eye. She was yelling, and
What?
I thought she was going to kill me. And then my mother happened to be sitting next to her, and she had come in during intermission. She was on a date. She was very drunk, and she'd only come for the second half, and she saw me on stage, and she saw herself, which is terrifying if you heard what I was saying. So she was actually clapping for me. My mother said she just, like, I started saying all this horrible stuff, and she got up. She was like, yes, girl! And so I was glad that she wasn't going to hurt me, but I was also horrified that there was someone, you know, you think you're playing these sort of bad characters or people who have really
Fictitious
horrible...
people that don't, like, yeah.
And then you
Found
realize,
one.
oh, no. There's one. There she is.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that's uncomfortable. I would have to break and be like, so are you good?
Yeah.
Or you mind us wrapping it up here?
Yeah, well, you think the show must go on. Unless there's like a health incident, I always think it's our job to keep going and to get everyone back on track, including the audience.
Yeah.
But obviously,
That's
yeah.
because you're a professional and I'm not.
No, you're more successful, so you feel free.
It's not, it's like, I think people just like to laugh. I don't know. Okay, everybody give it up for John Lithgow and Aya Cash.